Hey, Nick, where you at, buddy?
Hey, what's going on?
Hope we've got sound because I don't hear you very well. Sorry, everybody, we're running live here, running behind, not live, running behind here, trying to get things set up and going. And I hope we got things where we need to be.
How about that? Can you hear me better now?
Now I can hear you. There we go.
Just
Hey,
a little
everybody.
volume.
Anyway, everybody, let's see if we've got. Sorry, we're running behind everybody. It's been a wild and crazy week.
It's been unreal.
Unreal. Yeah, you're probably right about that, Nick. It's unreal. So, hey, anyway, we're live from IMCA. God, I can't spit it out, Nick. We've been running too hard.
IMCA
Fan Zone.
Super Nationals 41, right here in Boone, Iowa, the biggest dirt track racing event on earth.
Anyway, it's been a great week. Sorry that Team 3J didn't make it into the big show last night. We tried. It wasn't from the lack of effort, was it?
It was definitely not.
So, anyway, hey, it's a call-in show, 316-462-3673. That number dials you right into the front desk at the dealership. Jump in there. And if you've got anything you want to talk about at Super Nationals, you want to talk about anything in the automobile world, we're here to answer your questions, give you a great price package, about over $130. But again, we're live from Boone, Iowa, from the Super Nationals. And, yeah, Nick, we had a great week.
Man, we sure did. You know, we came out here, last year you guys came out here and raced and ended up getting cut short, getting in a wreck early on. And, Jake really wanted to come back here and get some redemption. And we came back here in full force and with everything we had. And came out here last Saturday and ran the prelude to the Super Nationals and just used that as a test session and just changed the race car every time we went on the racetrack. And we didn't make the big show here this weekend tonight, but the amount of knowledge I think that we have amassed in, changing our car and, Jake being able to feel the changes of the car. I mean, we're going to be able to take that back home, and I think we're going to be better than we have been.
And for everyone that's watching now and listening, we're at Boone, Iowa at the Super Nationals, the IMCA. It's the biggest dirt track event in the country of any kind of its sort. There's over 1,200 cars been here. Just in our division, there was over almost 250. I can't remember exactly.
Yeah, I think we ended up around 230 just in our division.
Just 230 modified. So to get in the big show, it's the top 33. But it's not the amount of talent you have or the speed you have. There's so much luck into this because you have to draw for your positions, draw for your starting positions and all that kind of stuff. And then you got to draw again, and then you got to draw spoons. And it's so much luck, but it's still a huge honor to be here. It's a huge honor to be even close to where we're at. I mean, we were running last night for the last chance qualifier and against some good cars. And, Jake made a good point here. There's two races. It's called the All-Star race, which if you've been you qualify into that, and then the race of champions, and you qualify into that. And yes, we qualify for the race of champions, but we're not going to stick around here all day and wait till 6:00 tonight to run a 12-lap race. But for example, last night in the All-Star race, the modified that won the All-Star race only finished sixth in the next race, which was a B feature. That's how close these cars are, how much it takes luck-wise to do that. So when you're running an all-star race, you win it. And he won it handily.
He did.
And then to turn around and lose in a B feature to sixth place. I mean, that's just how close these cars are and how fast these cars are. And it just takes a little bit of difference. I mean, just like we was getting ready to go after the last feature last night, we're making turns of a quarter of a turn and a half turn on adjustments just to make sure we think we're going to make the right adjustment to go. Mm-hmm. So yeah. It's pretty crazy and stuff too. So, hey, anyway, everybody, 316-462-3673 if you want to dial up and get on the show here with us. You got anything you want to talk about at Super Nationals, whatever. But if you've never been to Boone, Iowa, and I tell this to everybody that's been at dirt track racing, if you've loved dirt track racing, this is the place to come. Even if it's a weekly event, to come watch this go down. I mean, these guys know how to put on a show. They keep it moving. They keep it fast. And it's just a great facility and everything else from that part. If you love dirt track racing, you at least got to put Boone, Iowa on your bucket list.
Yeah, they don't call it America's Racing Vacation for nothing. It's, the atmosphere here and just the sheer amount of people and the sheer amount of race cars. I mean, racing starts at 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon every day, and it goes constantly until, 1 o'clock in the morning. And, there's always cars on the racetrack. They keep the racetrack good. Every every 10 to 20 races, depending on what's on the racetrack, they stop and they do a farming session where they completely re-prep the racetrack and get it going again so that it just doesn't stay one lane and hammer down. And, the people that run this facility in IMCA, man, they've really built this into the premier event that it is. But, it's a great event, not just for, racers, but for spectators and fans. And, just walking up and down that vendor row, seeing all of the vendors and the people in the industry that cater to IMCA racing, and it's just incredible event. You just have to be here if you haven't been.
We can tell you what it's like, but you're not going to believe it till you come see it and put yourself in person here at the event.
Absolutely agree. It's the first time I ever came here, I back when I was racing, I qualified for the All-Star race. So that's why we came up here. And, everybody told me is like, before you go race there, you need to go up there once and just experience it. So you kind of have an idea what's going on. Well, I didn't do that. And I got up here and there were so many race cars and so many people and so many things going on. And it's just hard to keep up with.
And I did that. We raced one night on a Friday night at Salina. And drove up to Kansas City and stayed there. And then we came here to Boone. It's 6 hours basically from Wichita to here. So we drove to Kansas City and then came in the next morning and drove in and experienced that. So it was a great time and everything else too. So we've got us a special guest coming in here. So grab him a headset here
right there.
So anyway, good morning, Jim. Get everything all it's all jacked up and it's been there you go. We got to move over a little bit and get him in here.
Yep.
Here is the busiest man in IMCA racing, I think, right?
I don't know about that.
Hey, I think so. Well, Jim Standard, IMCA, and thanks for coming here and hanging out with us.
Not a problem, sir. Thank you, guys.
It's been a great event for us, even though we're going home.
Are you?
Yeah, we didn't make it last. It wasn't from the lack of effort, Jim. I can promise you that.
I guarantee you that. I saw you guys racing.
Yeah, so we tried, and I remember last year when we were here, when I was checking into the pit guys, and he says, no matter what you say here, there's so much luck into this race.
Oh, absolutely. Anytime you get, well, in your case, modifieds, which 230 something, I believe.
Yes, 230 something. Yeah.
There's got to be some luck. I don't care who you are, how fast you are, how good a car you have. You've got to be there with luck.
Well, that's what we was talking about just before you got on the show, Jim. The guy that won the All-Star race last night, he turns around, comes back out, and he only finishes 6th in a B, and he won the All-Star race. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, it's crazy how close these cars are.
Yeah, and the cars are close. We've got such great competition here. Nobody. I'll tell you what. I'll put this field of drivers we have here against any dirt track event ever. Where? I don't care where it's at.
I agree with you 1,000%. I mean, some of the names that are here and stuff like that you're racing against, there is no better. And there's not a better, bigger facility that can handle something like this and take care of this and have this many racers. You don't fathom it until you take your drones and you show the picture of all the trailers and everything's packed around this place. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's absolutely nuts. I mean, this year we set another record.
Okay, what's that record?
I wish I knew. I think last year we were at, I think technically it was 1,001 last year.
Okay. And
this year we were 1,020 something, I believe, right in that area. I think I haven't even seen the final numbers yet.
Yeah. So the record is a car count.
Car count.
How many cars we had show up. Yep. And you couldn't pick a better weather too. I mean, shoot.
It was a little bit of the tale of two seasons. We had the beginning of the week, it was just hotter than whatever, what I mean? Then we hit that day, and they all run together. I couldn't even tell you what day it was.
I bet you do too.
Well, I'm running around here trying to find coach. You got people in heavy winter jackets and stocking caps, and then we ended up the week with textbook weather. You couldn't.
You couldn't have scripted it better.
No, absolutely not.
Couldn't at all. So anyway, Jim, again, I can't thank you enough for letting us come up here and race this, and you guys, all the work you put into making this event so fun and so great, and everything else. But I know it takes a lot of work behind the scenes and stuff like you guys put up with. But IMCA just puts together a great show and a great product. And, it's just like anything else. Is there things that I don't like about IMCA racing from the racer standpoint? Yeah, but you know what? It's the fairest game I think out there is to play for a racer. But what's so cool to me is these cars are so close. It just takes a tick here and a tick there, and you can go from first to last.
Well, I think at the end of the day, we want the drivers to make the difference, not checkbooks.
Yeah.
And the talent that the driver possesses, not how much money he has in his pocket, that should what wins races.
Well,
drivers' talent and drivers who work hard, whether it be set up and the guy that races Saturday night, Friday night, pulls it in the trailer that after the races and pulls it out the next week. You're not going to see him win too many races. As you guys well know,
it's not going to happen.
There's some work that goes into these cars, any kind of cars. But what we try to do is try to take the cubic dollar out of this game the best we can.
I think you do that, and it's kind of like Jake says is racing these cars is you can take a average driver in a good car and he's going to be competitive, but you can't take a good car with a below driver and make it work. You've got to have that situation. So a good driver can jump in an average car and be competitive in this race. And that's what's so fun about
Absolutely.
it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you get out on, one of these early heat races or one of these Bs, after they farm the racetrack and the racetrack's hammered down heavy. And, on the crate motor program, everybody has the same engine. There's no advantage, horsepower wise, because everybody runs the same thing. So, if when they get out there and they get in line and they start rolling around there, you may be able to make up inches, but it's a lot harder to make up feet.
Yeah, it's a driver's game in this sport for this situation, to read the track, to know where the moisture's at, where it's not, where it's rubber, where it's not rubber, and all that kind of figuring that stuff out. And I still remember the first time I showed up out here in this dirt, it's black. It's not brown, it's black. And I'm thinking, okay, what did they do to the dirt to make it black? Well, no, that's just the dirt up here in Iowa. And so it's hard to read that dirt too a little bit to know what's going on from that part. But I was in there, and again, what I love about this race is we met so many new friends here this week.
That's
what I'm saying?
What it's all about.
Changing phone numbers, and I know we'll stay in contact with guys and everything else too. So I was standing with the guy next to us, Sean DeMay's crew chief guy, and we were talking about it and everything else like that. And they're, when you sit down and you figure this out, these motors are about 400 horsepower. And you figure out if you can get another 5 horsepower some way, by way an air cleaner works or where the fuel comes into it, or just 5 horsepower will change something. Mm-hmm. And it's just him and I were talking about that. How do you get the timing just here, and how do you get this just here, and we adjust the valves just right, and all that kind of stuff. And it's true. I mean, that's just how close these cars are.
Yeah. Once again, it's we try to reward the drivers that are going to work hard, be legal, and once again, that put in the effort. That's who deserves the win.
And that's some of the drama I will say out here is I love that you guys are teching people, and if it's an infraction, you penalize them.
Absolutely.
But the drivers don't like it, but because they think they're legal and they're not.
They don't like it until it happens to them.
Yeah.
To them. Everybody wants a level playing field unless they're the one that isn't legal. And
right.
So I do appreciate that part of a lot. And that's we got through tech, I think, 6 times and made it through. Good. And we made it through every time with no. And that's one thing I always tell Buddy and Tanner when they're building my race cars. I said, take it to the edge. Just don't go over that edge. I'd never want to get DQ'd for something. If I get DQ'd, it's going to be a mistake on we missed or did something like that, or a part failure or something like that from that part. But I love watching that tech go down, because I stayed and watched after the races just to watch what you guys are teching and all that kind of stuff too. So I appreciate that level of tech.
Dave Brennan, who is our director of competition, there is no better in any racing as far as I'm concerned. When you get the knowledge that Dave has, it's just incredible. But Dave's temperament, the way he handles himself in there, I mean, there's just nobody better. The professionalism that Dave brings to that tech tent and IMCA 365 days a year is invaluable to us.
It's kind of like, we're weekly at Dodge, Salina, and Hayes. And when that black van rolls in, I mean, it changes the whole atmosphere of the racetrack. They all know Dave Brennan's in the house.
Starts going to work.
It's any place in the country. They know the van. We keep thinking maybe we'll get something that Dave can go incognito in. But
it's still fun to see him at the local tracks. I mean, he's your level of competition that he's at. He's your top guy. But he's still out in the field at these local tracks, and I love that. I love seeing him there and stuff. And of course, every time he's there, I'm over there asking questions to make sure what we're doing and stuff like that too. And sometimes I think Dave probably gets tired of me and stuff like that too. But I appreciate the level of doing that. And then hearing over the intercom when guys got DQ'd and stuff. And then just last night I was up there in the tower and on that catwalk over there, and here's a lady, her son got DQ'd from the heat race, and she's up there. I looked at her and said, "Hey, he's either legal or he's not. Well, they didn't catch him 3 or 4 times. I said, they just didn't check that. They can't check the whole car every time.
Exactly. And
Quick,
that's what kills me. You know what I mean? And, I always tell people, hell, I was driving down this highway the other day. I was going 85. I didn't get a ticket.
Well,
you know what I mean?
right.
Does that mean I got,
Right.
I can do it anytime because it happened once? No.
Yeah.
But that's the whole thing. Everybody talks about you just got to be cheating a little bit to, to win and all that kind of stuff. But, if you get caught, you get caught. But it's a situation that you can't inspect every bit of these cars every time, every race, and see exactly what they're doing. But the next thing is, how do you know what goes on back in the pits? You got tech now. Well, what'd you do in the pit last time? What'd you change? What'd you do different?
And I've heard it all.
Oh, I'm sure you have.
At the end of the day, like I said, Dave, there's nobody better than Dave. No. And, and having, one thing that IMCA really tries to do all the time is have the people out in the field, have the people at the local racetracks.
Agree.
As much as we can. It can be a strain on us, the staff, sometimes. But at the end of the day, seeing Dave at a track and seeing anybody that's associated with IMCA, at a local track, I think the drivers, the promoters, people appreciate that. And something we work very, very hard at.
Yeah, they absolutely do. I mean, as a racer, seeing,
you
people.
Raced?
A few times.
I wasn't aware.
No, a few times.
Oh, wait, I guess I didn't see it, but
we scraped our way into a few A features here and there, but that's about it. But
a race of champions one time, or all-star race?
An all-star race one time, yeah.
I remember that.
But yeah, I mean, just having like people like you and like Dave at the local racetrack. I mean, just building relationships with the racers and stuff. I mean, I think it just builds confidence in the racers that the sanctioning body is doing the right thing, and the sanctioning body has their back, and they're doing everything they can to make sure that the cars are on a level playing field. And when they come to a big race like this, they know that they're not going to get cheated out of a win because because you're on it, because you know what you're doing, and they know that you're going to check it.
Well, and I think another thing from a racer standpoint, what I really do like is every year you're not making big changes to the rules. No. If you do make a change, it's a small change. So you don't got to go back and really rework your car or do whatever from that part. So I really appreciate that. Is there some rules that I wish you would change and stuff? Yeah, exactly, from a racer standpoint. But I know that's not fair to everybody that races a class, and you've got to set some ground rules for where you need to be. And that's what makes it fun. And I'm going to tell you, Jim Jakes drove all different divisions. And I'm going to tell you, I think this division makes him a better driver. The tire is one thing, the little spoiler and all that kind of stuff, that changes it into a driver standpoint. But I do really, truly believe that running IMCA has made him a better driver than out there with the big horsepower and a big spoiler on the back of the car and everything else.
Don't have that crutch to get you out of certain situations.
Exactly.
And, once again, you hear people say, well, anybody can drive one of those cars. No, you have to
you can't.
You have to really have finesse. You have to know how to keep the momentum going. And like I said, I talked to a lot of drivers. That big $30,000 motor that you have to freshen up every 10 times is just a crutch. And I'll take our IMCA drivers against anybody because of that fact.
Well, I hate to tell you had a lot of cross divisions here this week, racing and stuff like that. And that's good to see those guys come in here, but it's also good for these drivers to race against them.
Yeah, absolutely.
From that part.
And I think those drivers that come in a situation that like that leave a better driver.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, I agree. We talked about that too. We talked about some of the other guys from the other divisions that are here this weekend racing and stuff. And Alec Covert, who's one of our guys, has been in racing forever and ever too. He said the same thing. He says, this is keeping these guys fresh for when they go to other divisions too. It's just keeping that the competition here is so close.
Well, it's good for them to compete, at IMCA at a higher level than they're used to normally. Mm-hmm. So it helps them.
And I agree. I mean, it's kind of like we talked about last night after we were down and out that we didn't make the big show and stuff. And we were talking about, when we race at our local tracks and stuff, there's competition there, but there's not near the competition that's setting right here from this standpoint of racing up here.
And I think what this event makes you do, it makes you, once again, not only the driver's talent, but to be able to read tracks at 2:30 in the afternoon or 2:30 at night. You know what I mean? In the morning, you have to be able to adapt to everything that can be thrown at you. And I think that's what makes you a better driver at the end of the day.
Okay, so let's go through like last night. We had our high pill draw yesterday, and that's what affected us. I really think affected. We got our low pill draw on the first day. Well, we weren't ready for the car. We weren't dialed in like we needed to dial in.
We weren't prepared.
Yeah. So if we would have been our low pill draw yesterday, it'd have been a different show for us. But it's just how it is. It's the luck of the draw.
Yep.
So anyway, we're standing there last night for the last chance qualifiers. And we keep scrolling through our phones to get that thing to update and get it to update, get update, and stuff like that too. And then we're trying to decide, okay, there were 6 stock car races and there was going to be 6 modified races. Then we thought, okay, it didn't say farming in between there. Are they going to farm or they're not going to farm? Then they farmed. So, it's just, but I get it from that part. Now, getting prepared. So I'm up here at the booth waiting for the deal to be posted. We thought maybe it'd post there quicker. Then it hit, and I'm coming running back because we're the first race. We didn't think we was going to be the first race. We thought we'd be about the 4th race, and now we got to change the car again. So we're panicking running around to get things set up. And I think we did the best we could. I think the car set up as good as we just started waiting far enough back, and we just didn't have a good day yesterday. But that's the way it is.
Part of racing.
That's part of racing.
Part of life.
So
yeah. And last year we on Thursday of last year we got crashed out by a lap car that spun in front of Jake and took us out and stuff like that too. And we were so mad and disgruntled. And I will tell you, I did say back then a year ago, I said I was so mad over the situation. I said, I'm not coming back. Well, guess what? I'm back.
Now the big question is, after last night, are you coming back next year?
Oh, we're coming back.
yeah, we're coming back.
Jim, because we already talked about how we got to get better at planning for our hotels and planning for parking and everything else too. We'll be back. There's no doubt we'll be back. Jake was down and out about not missing the show because that was really our goal. If we could just get in the big show. But we made such big improvements from last year where we're going to be. So I can't wait for next year for us to be back. And plus we're going to change our program up for next year, what we're going to do, where we're going to go and stuff like that too. And not just hit those 3 tracks and try to have some more fun and stuff too.
Good.
Need to venture out and, come run some races here, some other tracks around here, race against the cars that we know are going to come here and rise to the top and be fast, because, like Phil said, we've got competition at home. But, if we can get out and go run some of those, kind of premier racetracks that are around us, like Beatrice and Eagle and, come up here to Boone and run some of the other Iowa IMCA tracks, where the real cream of the crop guys seem to be, when we come back here next year, we'll be able to race like those guys,
Absolutely.
Okay, so everybody watching here, you need to tune in tonight at imcatv.com. They got a great coverage. We have a TV in the trailer, and we have it on in there watching it the whole time. They got drones flying everywhere, but the coverage of that is second to none. Like we're standing there.
It's amazing.
Yeah, everybody said we're sitting in the trailer, and I said, come on, let's go watch the races. And everybody looks at me, what the heck for? Let's watch it right here.
You know what I find myself doing? I'll be in the infield for some races. We got the Jumbotrons in the infield. And I'm sitting there, 50, 75 foot from the track. And I'm just sitting there glaring at them watching the Jumbotrons. You know what I mean? You just can't help the shots that these guys get.
Yeah.
It's just incredible.
And the 2 guys you got up are in the booth. I don't know how you keep them going all day long like you do.
I don't know how we keep putting up with them all day long is the main thing.
But they do have some good lines and stuff like that too.
You throw weight into the equation. I mean.
Yeah. So everybody tune in to IMCA TV today. Racing starts what time? 1 noon?
Opening ceremonies are going to start at 2. We should be racing about 3. Yep.
Racing about 3 o'clock. So don't miss that. It'll be a great time to watch your racing and stuff too from that part. But sure wish we was going to be in the big show. But you know what? It is what it is. We've got to go on.
Yep. Next year.
We'll head home. We'll fix
year.
up. We got about 3 races to go for the rest of this year. And we'll see if we can get a couple more wins. Now, I tell you, we got to get this regional thing done. We're pretty close on regional.
Are you?
Yeah, we got the state wrapped up with.
I don't look at points.
Don't you?
I don't look at points until maybe next week.
Next week,
I'll peek at the points for the first time. If you ask me who was winning any of our divisions,
I
have no clue because I just don't want to get wrapped up into that. But now going into the final week, I'll probably peek and say, "Oh shoot, I better be here." You know what I mean? I better be here.
Well, and that's what I told Nick and Jake. I said we've been points racing now for the last couple of years, and it is really kind of stressful. I mean, because if you want to win something, you want to be there. You're constantly watching this, watching that, and then if you have a bad night at the track or whatever, you're kicking yourself and stuff like that too, and that sort of thing. But we won the Dodge City points rate. We won Dodge City. We had Salina, but then just a couple things didn't go very well there too. Same thing happened at Hayes, but we got the state thing wrapped up pretty well. But the region we want to grab, but we're not going to points race next year. We're just going to go have fun, like Nick said, run some other tracks and do some different things and have fun with it. And we did that a couple of years back with Jake, and we didn't points race, and we had so much more fun and stuff too. But I think it'll be better for Jake to hit more tracks and stuff. Yep. So what's new for IMCA? Anything new coming? Anything exciting at all? I know there's a lot of excitement here for this, but
I think it's. The whole season's just a process for us. You know what I mean? We get through this, and then we just concentrate on the last couple of weeks of the point season. We get through that. And then we start going into the rules portion of it, and see what we'll sit down and we'll talk, and we'll see what makes sense, what doesn't make sense, and go from there. One of the things is, I don't care what rule change it is, it's going to cost racers money in the short term.
Yep.
And I guess it comes down to is how much money can our racers
afford
for rule changes.
Yes.
And so we want to make sure whatever we do is smart, and in the best interest of the racers and the racetrack, because it kind of goes hand in hand.
Yep, absolutely.
Because that's one thing. If you don't have the racers, you don't have a series.
That's
Correct.
right.
And these guys, and I get it. I mean, with our race business,
I don't know how some of these series do it with as few cars as they have.
Yeah. And we watch with our race business, the people come in and we want to, that's why we love racing. That's why we put the race shop inside Mel Hambelton Ford, and to help these racers. And we see it every day, racers coming in, buying parts and doing what they can and trying to help these guys and keep them on the racetrack and stuff too. It's just like tires. I mean, that's another thing. It's got, I'm gonna say it right out. I think it's got it out of hand, but it is what it is because of the cost of goods.
Yeah,
and cost of labor.
And once again, I obviously I get that question quite a bit, and you guys have a little bit of knowledge of the Hoosier deal.
Yeah,
and,
A little bit.
Just a little bit, right?
But you hear, oh, I can't believe this. But my response is, and we hate to see it, but go to McDonald's, go to the grocery store, and everything that goes into those costs going up. You guys, whether it be distributors or Hoosier, national at the factory, they're dealing with the same things.
They are.
Yeah.
And
just when we've got to be the Hoosier dealer for Kansas, Colorado, Nebraska, we got to go up to the dealer meeting, and the first time to go through that plant, I had no idea it took. Yeah, I had no idea it took
labor intensive.
Yeah, what it took to build a tire. Until you see that, you think, I can just anybody put a tire together. No, you can't.
No, exactly.
No.
And we're so happy to be with Hoosier right now as our tire. I mean, I don't know if probably most people couldn't see it, but we had Shannon up there week and two of their engineers.
Yeah.
And they're always striving to make a better product. And I think that kind of showed this weekend that they would take the time to come up and look at every tire and see what could be done different. And we'll sit down with them after that and see if they what they think.
Shannon showed up in our pit, and he was there for over an hour. Yeah. He was there for an hour.
Yeah.
Just talking to Jake about how he prepped the tire, what we did. And you know what? We walked away and we pulled every tire back out and started redoing stuff on tires.
And I think
from that part,
that is some of the issues with some of these tires that we see some failure on. I've been with Shannon 3-4 times this year, and we'll see a tire that's, that it failed.
Yeah.
And he'll bring me over, look at this. I mean, it is cut up. It is grooved so bad. Once, just like anything, a piece of tape, once it starts pulling off, it's going to keep going. And I think, we see that a little bit with tires.
Well, Jim, go ahead.
I think a lot of times, what the racers don't understand when they whip out that grooving iron or that siping blade is they don't think about how that tire is constructed. They just see it as a black round tire that they're going to bolt on, and they're going to do whatever they want to do to it, and it should work and it shouldn't fail. But they need to kind of take into aspect a little bit of the construction of that tire and how that tread is actually bonded to the carcass, because when you go cutting and siping on that tire, I mean, you run that thing deeper than the factory groove, and you cut through that tread bond and you get into the carcass of that tire. I mean, you make a cut there. I mean, it's just like, gluing, a piece of paper to the table or something. You make a cut there, and then you go out on a racetrack, that's building a lot of heat in that tire. Well, what happens when, you build heat? It expands. So that little tiny slice, now starts to open up. And once it gets hot enough and it starts pulling off, and, it just becomes a chain reaction, and it's like ripping off the Band-Aid,
Absolutely.
I mean, I think all of the tire failures that I've seen as a distributor this year, I've been able to take back to just how that tire was prepared.
Yeah. Well, it's like the Prelude race Saturday night. We qualified into the race, and
which
in the back,
no small feet.
Yeah, no, exactly. Even at that, so we got in the show, and I told Jake, I said, Jake, just go out and get some good laps, get some good rhythms. Don't worry about it, but bring this car home in one piece. We got to make it all next week. I said, so this race doesn't really mean anything for us right now. This is a practice round for us. So he went out, and I would say he ran about 80 to 85% hard on the car. And Jim, I wish I could put this picture up on the screen. There's our right rear tire. Maybe I can just show my phone, but there's a ripped to shreds. And so when Shannon came over, we started looking at it. Guess what? We caused the failure. We did. We caused our own failure behind it, but it's going to make us better. I'm just glad it happened Saturday night instead of Wednesday night.
Yeah.
Well, one of the things that, we really want to, try to do is use the knowledge that a person like Shannon has to, get some of that out to the drivers. You know what I mean? I think it's so important. Yeah. It's so important.
Yeah, and you are right. And he had a couple of people with him that were young that they're bringing up through the ranks. He had walking around with and learning them. And it was great to sit there and watch them listen and watch them learn. And, they were in our trailer for at least an hour. Going through all of our tires, going through the stuff and learning that. So it's really cool.
It's it's good. Like I said, we've got a great relationship with Hoosier, and we're looking to continue that on for the longest time. And, at the end of the day, tire prices suck. There ain't no other way to put it. But
the price of everything sucks, quite absolutely. Frankly.
And, we look around and, I think we've got one of the better prices on any racing tire out there, especially for modifieds right now.
Absolutely.
The Keith Knack tire is, you guys know, more than what we run right now.
Yeah. Oh, I get it. Mm-hmm. But anyway, it's been a fun week. Like I said, I wish we were in the big show, Jim, and everything else too. And I wish we weren't headed home.
There's about 250 other people that wish the same thing. And
I know. I get it. And, so up today is modifieds and stock cars, right? I can't even look at the agenda.
Everything. It's big dances for the hobby stocks, the Northern Sport Mods, stock cars, modifieds. So we'll run some last chance qualifiers for stocks and modifieds that we progressed. Started last night. We'll run Race of Champions for modifieds and stock cars. And then we'll go right into the big dances.
Big dances
for all four divisions.
Well, as much as I hate to say it, I'm going to be sitting on my couch watching from home, having a cocktail, of course. While
I'm just trying to rub it in, aren't you?
Yeah, maybe so, just a little bit. But all said, though, I wish we were out here racing. Is what I really wished. Well, from that part,
we just hope at the end of the day, you guys and everybody that shows up here just had a good time and had fun. You know what I mean? And it's something we really, not only us at IMCA, but the whole Boone Speedway staff really tries to concentrate on is the customer experience, whether it be the drivers or spectators in the grandstand. And we want to try to do everything we can to have you guys walk away and say, that was a neat deal.
I mean, I can honestly tell you, even though, we're not going to race tonight and we didn't make the big show and our stuff's loaded in the trailer, I can tell you, from last Saturday when we unloaded from the first time until we loaded up last night. I mean, I had a blast. It was a lot of fun.
Okay. Well, 2.5 years ago, we came up here just to practice to get ready to go. And we pulled in here real early and nobody was here, but this lady that kind of sets up here, and she was here this morning again.
I don't know
I pulled up here that 2.5 years ago and I said, hey, brand new here, fresh. You know what she did? She got on a golf cart and took a tour with us and showed us everything around here, everything else, and set us all up and everything else. Yeah. This morning walked in, we told her, hey, what we were doing, happy as could be, everything else too, from that part. And last night up on the catwalk, there's a whole, again, that's just packed full of people and everything else like that. And you can see young kids. That's the thing. You see all types of people here from ages from that part. And here's a mom up there, and she's got probably a group of her kids and a group of other kids. And I heard her say to this one girl, hey, Maddie, are you having fun? And you're right. That's what it's about. So if you're a dirt track lover or love dirt track racing, I know you can watch it on AMC TV, but if you're anywhere close, whatever, you need to get here to Boone. It is so much fun. The environment is so much fun. It's exciting to be here.
I've been coming to 30 plus Super Nationals, and, I'll have somebody other place in the country ask, what's that Super Nationals like? And after 30 plus years, I can't explain to them.
You can't.
It's like.
You can't explain it.
There's absolutely no way until you see every piece of the puzzle that goes on here.
Yeah.
And that,
Well, you guys have to prep for this all year, don't you?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You can't just say, "Oh, the week of, okay, we're going to start getting ready to go."
It's Wednesday. We got to go.
Yeah.
No, I wish, but it's a year-long process for us. And, the same with the track. And, you look at everybody from the track crew here. I don't care what time that last checkered flag's at. There's been 2:30. That last flag of the night drops. Boom, we got equipment on the track.
Yeah.
I'll leave, maybe an hour or so after that, they're on the track.
Yeah.
I'll get here.
Watch the tractors running around right now.
I'll get here, first thing in the morning, they're on the track. And it just amazes me how they can possibly do it. But that's what goes in to making this.
We're running on a little bit of sleep ourselves too. I don't know how I do it. From that part too. But this was a great experience, and can't wait to get back next year. Of course, can't wait to finish up this year, see where we end up, and figure out how we're going to take on next year and get after it again.
We certainly appreciate everything.
Jim, it's appreciate the partnership we can have. We need to get our partnership stronger and stronger each year, and I think we are getting that way and help each other better and stuff like that too. But we're definitely not getting out of IMCA racing, that's for sure. That Jake loves it. That's where we're at. We got more tracks we can hit and stuff. What we want to go do and stuff too. So, but again, thank you for taking the time this morning. You're busy schedule to come spend time with us.
Really, really appreciate it.
And we're gonna. Plane is headed here to go pick us up.
I don't want to
get our trailer.
I don't want to hear it. Jesus.
Get the trailer out of here. Hopefully, get our trailer out of here and get on.
We're a little spoiled.
Can you get the trailer on the plane?
No.
You mean somebody's actually got to drive it back?
Yeah, there's some drivers coming up for me.
Oh man,
I know it's tough.
Life is rough.
It is, isn't it? Life is rough.
I'll think of you at about 3 in the morning when I'm.
Now, I will tell you though, Jim. Last Saturday we came up for the prelude. Okay.
Oh boy, here we go.
Are you ready? I backed out of my driveway at 5 a.m., picked Nick up at his house. We drove 6 hours up here, raced all day. We left here at 1:30 in the morning. I looked at Nick. I said, "What are we going to do?" Nick said, "Let's just see how far we can get." I dropped him off in his driveway at 7:30 in the morning. We drove back home. We were up for 26 and a half. Now, we didn't sleep in the truck a little bit, but we drove.
Hopefully one at a time.
Yes, one at a time.
But we did get to see the sunset or the sunrise twice.
Now, that's what you call dedication,
That's right. It absolutely is.
So,
what happened to the plane?
Well, it just happened to be that's a holiday weekend, and all my pilots were gone.
Oh my God!
And at the last minute,
I hate that for you.
I know, I'm sure you do. At the last minute, the one pilot we had dialed in to go, he had an emergency with his family, had to go, and that's more, it was more important for him to do that, and that's why we just got in the truck and chucked it up here and went. So
perfect.
But anyway, hey everybody, thanks for watching, thanks for listening. It's 10 o'clock already, Jim. I don't know where the time flies and everything else, but again, thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to spend time with us.
Never a problem.
I appreciate it very much.
Thank you guys.
Good luck on the rest of the race.
You bet.
And hopefully we'll have a new winner coming out of I'm sure you're gonna have a new winner tonight. We'll see. I got some predictions who's going to win it, but you never know. Somebody from 15th can win it, come out through there and get it done.
I got a prediction, but I'm not going to
name
come on,
Nick.
Because I don't.
Nick, come on. I'm going to put you on the spot.
Who you got? Go ahead.
I got the 99 car. I think Murdy's going to put it on him.
Think he's going to get it? Do you,
Phil?
Well, who I want to win is Sean DeMay because I spent the week with him over there setting
Sean's
aside
a good guy
and everything else. So that's who he's up there. I think sixth. I think I can't remember where he's going to start. I think don't call me on that. I'm not sure where he's. But just because I got to know him, made another friend, and everything else like that, I'd love to see him do it. Can he get it done? Oh, I think he can get it done. I mean, he got close last night and everything else too. But I mean, there's so many good guys up in here on the talent wise and everything else to go there. So who knows? It's going to be an interesting show to watch tonight.
That's all I can guarantee.
That's right. It's going to be fun to watch.
Guarantee it's going to be good.
It's going to be good.
So everybody, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And we will talk to you next Saturday morning, 9 o'clock. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
No, thank you, buddy.
Appreciate it.